Hi guys, Mark here. Welcome. In this video, we're going to be making a cross-shaped rope mat. For the supplies, I'm first going to need a rope. In my case, I'm using a 1/4 inch rope, one piece 6 feet long, the other piece 7 feet long. To finish my mat, I'm going to be using thread as well as a needle. You can use a couple of pins to hold the mat down while you're tying it. Now I don't usually do this, but when demonstrating, this makes things easier to see. Our last supply is a pair of scissors. We start tying our mat with the shorter out of our two pieces of rope. So this one is 6 feet long. Fold it in half. At the middle point of your rope, form your first loop. With the left end, form another loop on the left. With the right end, form a loop on the right. Using your right end, form a loop at the bottom. Place the two ends one next to the other. For the purposes of tying our mat, these two strands here count as one. Now grab your second piece of rope. This one is 7 feet long. Fold it in half. At the middle point, pass it through the top loop. Using the left end, first pass over under. Then over under through the loop on the right. Then here over under two. Pass into the loop on the bottom, over under. Grab your other end. We're going to weave through these three strands, under, then over two. On the left, we pass under over into the loop on the left. Finally, we weave through these four strands, under, over, under, over. Under, over, under, over. Now, pass this end next to the other one. Completing the tying process of our mat. Next, we're going to double it up. We double up our mat by first removing the pins. Then, the two ends of each of our cords are going to follow each other. So this one is going to follow this one is going to follow this one. The same with the other two ends. So this one follows this one through the mat, doubling up our second cord, I'm now going to switch to this other end and work it in as well. So the two ends of my second piece of rope meet under here. So we have doubled up our second piece of rope used. We do the exact same thing with the two ends of our first piece of rope. So one end follows the other. As you can see here, the two ends of our first piece of rope are not long enough to meet. So, next, we shape up our mat into a nice looking form. Next, we start at one end of our first piece of rope. We go through our mat, reducing the size of these outer bites. This way, we get enough rope for the two ends to meet. We now secure the ends of rope in our mat. The ends are hidden on the bottom of the mat. So let's say these two ends are hidden under this part here. These two other ends are going to be hidden under this part here. So we work on the bottom of the mat. You can secure the ends in a variety of ways by splicing, stitching, lashing, as well as other ways. For now, in this example, we're going to do some stitching. So I thread my needle, attach my thread onto the bottom piece of rope, Then, do a couple of hitches, doing a makeshift whipping, securing the end of my rope from unraveling after we cut it. So after a couple of hitches, we do our stitching from the bottom towards the top, from the top towards the bottom, again from the bottom up towards the top. At the top we now do a number of hitches again, securing the other end as well. Whipping. We then travel to the bottom securing the end, then trimming it off. Trim the two ends as well. Do the same thing, wet the other two ends as well. Wet the two stitchings on the bottom of the mat complete. Our mat is also done. I would like to sincerely thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you in my future videos as well.